Just these houses on their own, there's over 400 different technically mods. That's ridiculous. Right, so we've got a day that's got, let's face it, a stupid amount of mods. I mean, it's great for the game, but all in one day? All right, fair enough. I think this is going to be like a two-parter. So we're going to start off with the first one, and it's going to be this here. The John Deere dealer sign by Hungry Cow Design, 1.33 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in the construction menu and under decorations and others. There you are. It's only going to cost you £1,000 to place down. So if you did want to go down that whole role play scenario, you know, making yourself like the local John Deere dealership, yeah, bang one of these outside. Right, next up is Rustic Brick and Metal Fence. This is by Michael LS, 2.44 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find them in a construction menu and under fences. Now, obviously, with the new way that fences are done in the game, as we've moved on a little bit, you got the option there. So you've got two gates and you've got the fence itself. So if you click on it, and first off, you're going to have the fence section. So obviously click it down, drag it out, no problem. If you didn't want the fence, you could then change it up a little. So you've got the option there right on the D-pad. So currently it's in section 1. So that's going to be your fence. If you wanted a gate, you can have it in section 2. So just drag it out, no problem. If you didn't want that one, you could have section 3, which is the bigger gate. Right, fair enough. Obviously drag it out, place it down, jobs are good 'un. So you got your fence, obviously that's dragged out wherever you want it to. You got your gate, which will open up like that, and obviously the bigger one is going to do the same. Oh, I thought that was going to hit the house for a minute. Oh, that was pretty close. That's all right. I mean, I like the big one better. Obviously, you got big harvester or whatever. Yeah, you might struggle getting it in that one, but the big one, no problem. Right, next up is the Modern House Set. This is by Red Phoenix, 152 megabyte on the download. Wow, for a house. Well, actually, it's not a house. It's 468 houses. Man, that's a big mod for a placeable decoration, but all right, fair enough. Now, in this pack, there is 13 different houses, and you've got basically mirrored versions of all of them. So like this one, for example, you got the garage on the left-hand side, you then got the garage on the right-hand side, so that sort of doubles it up straight away, and then you've got different colours on all of them. So you got your white, you got your yellow, you then got a dark brick, we've got a grey brick, a light red brick, a dusty grey, an alpine blue, a verdigris, whatever colour that is. You then got a pastel, and then you're back to your mirrored versions. So obviously, you know, you've got all these different, right, you got the standard house, the mirrored versions, and then all those colours on both sets. So depending on which one you want to go for, obviously, you're going to be spending quite a long time. So you've got like a standard house, you've got one with a garage, you got a different house there, different garage versions, and then so on and so on. Obviously, all these have, as I said before, all the different colour versions. I mean, they carry on over here as well, and all the different mirrored versions. So if you don't like for this house instance, if you don't like the garage on the right hand side, well, you can have the mirrored version, which has got the garage on the left hand side. Right, fair enough. Entirely up to you. Now, there is an option on pretty much all of them. If you come to it, you go customize. You then have the option for the solar panels on the roof. So you've got 1, you got your 2, you got your 3, or you got none. So if 13 different houses wasn't enough, and the mirrored versions and the colours, yeah, you can change the solar panels on the roof. That's a lot of houses, I must admit. And next up is Hydrants with Pumps. This is by Happy Mole, 0.28 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them in a construction menu and under containers. Now, we've got this little lineup just here for you. So we've got a red hydrant, we then got a rusty white one, we've got a different style red one, we then got a different style red one again, a yellow one, a different red one that looks like more of an industrial pump, fair enough. We then got a box of pumps, and then we got an old school pump. Yeah, that looks ace. I mean, to be fair, that looks like something that maybe like at a fire station, fill your engines up all at once. But they're all water triggers, let's face it. Come fill your tanker up with water at any one of these. Very nice. The next up is water pump with distribution. This is by Tethy Saturn, 2.29 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under factories. Yeah, because if you ever fancied having a bit of water on the go, but didn't really fancy taking it to all your greenhouses, that sort of thing, this is what this is going to be all about. So you've got the option of taking it out there. You then got your production chain menu there, and there is no input because this runs on wind. Yeah, we're going there like that. There we are. So you've got the option there. Turn your water on. So currently it's storing. So if you wanted to take it out that side, great, no problem. We could then change that to selling. Quite sure how much you get for water, mind you, but the best thing is going to be the distributing. So if you've got like greenhouses over there or whatever, just put it on distributing, get it going. I mean, it runs on wind, let's face it. So you haven't got to put anything in, and then crack on. Away we go. So I've had it running for a couple of seconds before we started doing this section. We're already up to 14 litres of water. Oh, fair enough. That is ace. Right, next up is Lizard Water Tower. This is by Mr. Hector, 6.19 megabyte on the download. And got a crick in my neck looking that high. Man, this is a tall thing. Really is. So in the construction menu and under containers, it's going to cost you 50 grand to place down. And obviously it's going to be somewhere for you to get your water out. But that is... wow, tall. Man, look how tall it is. I look like an ant stood next to it. Fair enough. I mean, when you can get up close to it, it does look good. And the rusty old bolts holding it into the ground. Fair enough. And next up is Bunker Silo. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy, 4.16 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find them in the construction menu and under silos. Now, the first one is 32 grand. It's going to be that one just there for you. Then got the next one, which is slightly shorter for 22 grand. We then got a different style for 32 grand. We then got the closed end for 32 grand. We then got a straight up dump it on the floor job for 2 grand. Yeah, you're not paying for the walls. All right, fair enough. And then the last one on the end, we got 32 grand just there. So obviously you're going to dump your chaffage on the go, put it in there, compact it, and then put a tarpaulin, sheet, blanket, whatever you want to call it, over the top to make your silage for your cows. That one's interesting. 2 grand. That's wow cheap. Right, next up is Lizard Fuel Tank. This is by Mr. Hector, 2.97 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in a construction menu and under containers. Now, it's going to cost you 20 grand, but it's going to hold 35,000 litres of fuel. That is all right indeed. So you come over to the spanner, obviously that's going to fill it up, no problem. 57 grand to fill it up. Wow, all right, fair enough. You're taking out point or your refilling point just there. All right, fair enough. That's all right. Right, next up is Fuel Tank 5,000 litre. This is by Polypool, 4.04 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, in containers. And it's going to cost you 15 grand. And it's going to hold 5,000 litres. So you come to your spanner. Obviously, that's going to fill it up just there. 8,250 to fill it up. All right. Again, like the previous one, you are going to come down and fill your vehicle up that side. Yeah. 5,000 litres. That should do a nice small farm, no problem. Right, next up is Lizard Container. This is by Michael Pilco, 5.27 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in a construction menu and under containers. Now, this is going to cost you 30.5 grand. It's going to hold 50,000 litres, but that's going to be liquid fertiliser. So you come around the back here like that. There you are. So fill it up, 66 grand. It's going to cost you to fill it up with 50,000 litres of liquid fertiliser, but all right, no problem. I mean, if you've got a big farm on the go, massive fields or whatever, yeah, you're going to need a lot of stuff, a lot of fertiliser. Fair enough. Right, next up is Wooden Shed. This is by Bartsonov 3, 7.4 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, you're going to find it under sheds. So it's going to cost you 8,600 to buy. You may be thinking, oh, that looks all right on the roof. The old rustiness, it's a great texture on it. But this has got some secrets to be found. Fair enough. So you come up to it and you see these hatch marking areas and you see the squares. Well, the squares, the crosses. So you come over to the area. So you've got the option now, show the wall. Press B in. Shows the wall. So you got these on the floor as well. So come over to those. You've got to show the floor. So puts a bit of flooring in. So let's go let's go build the full shed. So it puts that in like that. Then we've got the show the wall there. And we come over to here. Got show props. It's got some junk. Oh, fair enough. So put the wall on that one. You just come to the hatch marking area. Then obviously you'll get the option come up in the top left hand corner. So you can basically build out whatever you want. I put that wall up. I was stood in the wrong place. So show the props. I mean, we've got a floor here somewhere. There we are. So what's this one here? Show props. Okay, we'll put the show props there. I'll show floor in the middle. Puts a concrete pad down. Oh, this shed's awesome. I mean, what we've got on the outside. Show the wall just there. Puts that wall up. So we've got another one just here. This shed is awesome. I mean, you can make it to whatever you want. Oh, I like that. That is ace. I want to just finish it off and put the wall in as well. The floor. Job done. Built my own shed. Oh, that was easy. Right, next up is Small Shed. This is by Zani317, 1.46 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under sheds. Now, it's going to cost you 10 grand. When it says shed, I would say more of a cover, because obviously you've got the sides that are open, which is great for access, no problem there, but obviously it's not going to keep the elements out. So just keep that in mind if that's the sort of thing you want to go for. But that being said, I mean, you've got the little extras on it. I mean, like, you got the cable goes up there for the light. I mean, you've got stuff here. So a bit more cable in there. Get an old wheelbarrow. Just turn up. I mean, you got a little what are they? A ladders? We'll go for that anyway. That's ace. Right, next up is Small Pallet Storage. This is by Hot Online Team. 0.72 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it in a construction menu and under silos. Now, this is going to hold 50 pieces. So obviously you drop them in that area and then you get them out of this one once you've got stuff in. I mean, you can't go in, so you're not going to be able to use it as any sort of storage shed for your vehicles or equipment, mind you. But yeah, all right, little shed, 50 capacity. It's all right, that is. And next up is Wood Barn. This is by Macca, 7.26 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them in a construction menu and under sheds. Now, we've got two versions here. First off, we've got the shed itself. We then got a second version. It's only going to cost you 200 extra, and you got the water barrel out front. That's all right. I mean, obviously, shed's a shed at the end of the day. You're going to store some stuff in there. That looks all right inside. You know, you've got this bit of ventilation between the slats. So if you want to put some bales in there, they should be all right. And over here, got the water barrels. So the same sort of shed, but obviously somewhere for you to use the collected rainwater. Oh, that's all right. Right, next up is Wooden Shed. This is by Namog Mod, 7 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in a construction menu and under sheds. Now, this is the second wooden shed we've had today. Well, one that's called Wooden Shed anyway. So you've got a 12 grand price tag on it. Now, there is some options. So if you go into customize, you can have it with brick wall, concrete wall, or the wooden wall. All right, fair enough. So we've got the brick wall over here. Looking all right, fair enough. Then you've got the concrete wall, and then you've got your wooden wall over here. So obviously, you go for whichever one fits in with the ambience of your farm. You know, some people might like the more rustic look, rather than the more built-up version. So entirely up to you. But that being said, I prefer the wooden one. That looks ace. Right, next up is Old Warehouse. This is by 750 Ti Modding, 16.48 megabyte on the download, and as you can imagine, you're going to find it under sheds. So it's going to cost you 40 grand to buy, but once you've got it, obviously you're going to be opening it up to have a little storage inside. You've got the small door just there. We've got a light switch on the outside. All right, let's turn those off. This is like little floodlights. No problem. We can open up the door like that. Oh, so that means... So if we open up that one... Oh, it opens up that way. Oh, that's all right. Well, it's sort of concertina-ish style doorage on the go, but all right, no problem. So once you get inside, you've got your light switch just here. You can turn the lights on. There we are. And then we've got the side door at the end. Give you a bit more extra access. Yeah, breeze box style design. Very nice. Oh, hold on. We've got a light switch here as well. For that light. Oh, fair enough. Right, next up is Barn SJ Pack. This is by Lossiol. 26.68 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them in a construction menu and under sheds. Now we've got two versions and then two versions of each. So bear that in mind. So first up, we've got this one for 25 grand. We then got the second version, which is more of a brick style. That's sort of like a breeze block-ish style. And then we've got a smaller version at the front with the same brickage, and then obviously the smaller one at the front again with the second style of brickage. So we're coming into the big one like that. There we are. Open up. Can we open up the doors from the outside? Oh, we've got to go inside. Interesting. How do we get in? So there's no option to get in. That's interesting. So how can you use the shed if you can't get in? I mean, there's not giving me any options to open the doors. And there's... Oh dear. Oh, they were on this side. Oh, there we are. I've placed them around the wrong way. So you got to go for the ones with the latches on the outside. Got you. No problem. So once you're inside, yeah, you can open those up from the inside. Take it all back. No problem. I mean, that looks alright inside. Plenty of space on the go. So obviously the same sort of style, but with different brickwork. Then again, you're going to have your two smaller ones. So the same sort of style of building, but obviously a little bit less space inside. Alright, fair enough. Right, next up is Grain Hall. This is by 750 Ti Modding, 13.22 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under sheds. Now, it's going to cost you 50 grand, but once you've got it, you can go have a look. So that's how we have a open up that door like that. So we've got a light switch there. It's going to be for your outside lights. So once you're inside, no problem. You've got your light switch just here as well. Turn those on. Got a little bit of a drive-through option on the go there. And we've got the side doors if you want to do, you know, side door like that. No problem. And on this side, you've got the one door that opens there. And then you've got the end door. To be fair, gives you a little bit extra space of getting in. How can you get most harvesters in there? No problem. Yeah, very nice. Right, next up is Anywhere Object Storage. This is by RC Gaming, 0.14 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them in a construction menu and under silos. So we've got two different versions. We've got a large one with a 500 piece capacity, and then we've got the smaller one with a 250 piece capacity. Now, obviously, they look a little bit weird out in the open, and we'll come back to that in a minute because there is a little... I'm going to say a little trick. I mean, it does say it on the website, mind you, but all right. So you've got your loading in points, you've got your taking out points, and then you've got your hide icons. There you are, hide markers. Job's a good one. So what really you want to do with this is you want to go and get yourself a shed, garage, warehouse, whatever you want to call it, and then place it in. So what you're supposed to do is obviously get it out of the shop. You then put it into toggle free place mode, and then you line up with the poles like I've done in here. So if we turn the icons back on, there you are. You can see that's where you're loading in, that's where your stuff's going to spawn out, and then inside is where your poles are. So as long as your poles go inside that building, you're golden. You know, because obviously the bigger one wouldn't have fitted in this shed, so obviously you needed to be a little bit careful to get the whole ambience of the whole mod included in it all. So that's great. And then once you've placed it nicely, I mean, it does say put the shed down first because that'll level the ground out. Fair enough. And then once you're done, obviously you hide the icons, and then it's like it's not even there. And once you chuck your bales or your pallets in, they're going to stack up there, and you can just close the door. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, that's ace. Right, next up is Pallet Storage. This is by VX Mapping, 1.62 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find him in quite a few different places, because there's quite a few of them. So first up is this one here, and it's going to be found under bees, because it's actually a honey pallet spawn point. Yeah, so obviously you're only going to be able to have one on your farm, so you may have to get rid of the one you've already got, but then the pallets of honey are going to spawn on it. That's alright. We then move over to this one, which is actually under storage. Well, it's under silos. So we'll scroll down and find this one. There you are, 350 to buy. It's going to hold 36 pieces. So obviously, you know, you just rock up, dump your stuff in, take your stuff out. It's going to store it on the racking. Oh, that's ace. And the rest of them are under tools. Now, they don't seem to have any function other than being straight up shelves, let's face it. They are different designs, so you go for ones whichever takes your fancy. Then you got your big ones, you got your taller ones, small ones, some as big as your head. It's like that coconut sign. So obviously, you know, you put them in buildings, you can store pallets on if you want to do it manually, or like front loader equipment, that sort of thing. These two though, they're ace. Next up is Agricultural Awning. This is by MA7 Studio, 16.97 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in a construction menu and under sheds. Now it's going to cost you 29 grand, and obviously it's somewhere to store your stuff. Keep the rain off of it, that sort of thing. Then you got a little side, well, I say little. I mean, I suppose like harvesters with like the big Mora tops on, you might get caught out a little coming through the sides, but out the front, you shouldn't have much problem anyway. And we've got plenty of ventilation. So if you want to store like your bales under here, you know, going for the real life scenarios, yeah, this should do you nicely. And next up is Salvage Horse Package. This is by Rustic, 41.36 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them on the sheds to start with. Yeah, because there's quite a few to this one, so fair enough. So first up, we've got this one here, 150 grand, and that's going to be your starting one. Now, the basis on all these is a pretty similar, slightly different at the same time. So this one has got a door either end, and then 2 doors at the front, and then you've got some fans at the back, some extractor fans, and they are just for show, so it's not going to make much difference. We then got a blue roof version, same price, same sort of thing on the go. We then move over to these two. So this one has got the same sort of door setup, but no fans on the back. We then move over to this one, which is going to be 130 grand. It's only got the doors on the side, not the end. We then got this one, which has only got the doors on the end and not the side. Dear, oh dear. We then got this one, which is slightly smaller and just got 1 door on the front. We then got an open-sided one for 80 grand. We then got a smaller open-sided one for 50 grand. And we then got this one, which is a wider version, so not as long, but obviously a little bit wider anyway. Doors on the end and on the side. And then we come over to here. This is where we need to change categories, because these are actually going to be under silos, because let's face it, they're bare one pallet storages. So first up, we got the blue roof version there. We then got the white roof version there, and then we've got these two here. So you've got your slightly longer open-ended one, and then we've got your half-size closed-ended one there. Now obviously these ones, let's face it, they all work the same. So you come up to it, you open the doors, which is nice. 2 sliding doors, that's all right. So this one's got the fans in, so you've got a drive-through option going down to the end, and then you've got your doors on the side, and they all pretty much work the same. It's not rocket science, let's face it. And then you come over here, and obviously the buildings will look the same. Doors are going to open, no problem. And then you've got your pallet storage areas, so these are going to be great. I mean, it says it put up the red X's, but it's allowed me to walk through, which is interesting. Oh, I think fair enough. So you got your loading in point just there, and then your respawn point just there on that one. They do look all great. I mean, depending on which one you go for is obviously entirely up to you. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with any of these. They look awesome. So next up is Welker Farm Shed Pack. This is by Mapper's Paradise, 88.68 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find them, as you can imagine, under sheds. It's in the name. So obviously, Welker Farms is a big farming YouTuber, and there's going to be the shed pack from their popular farm. I mean, we've had the map itself on previous generations of the game, and I'd imagine it's going to come back anyway. So first up, we've got this one here, 25 grand for your small shed. We then got 40 grand for the big garage. We then come down and we've got the garage for 40 grand. We've then got storage for 50 grand, and spin it around, and we got the Quonset hut for 60 grand. All right, okay, no problem. So obviously, if you've seen the program, the channel, whatever, you'll be fully aware of what goes on Welker Farm. So a little bit of a garage on the go there. Open that up. Obviously, put your vehicle in. Then you've got the big workshop. Well, is it workshop or was it a garage? Let's have a little look. No, it's just a shed. Fair enough. Big area to store some stuff in. That's all right. And obviously over here we've got another garage stroke shed. Would you call it a warehouse? I'm not sure it's really big enough to be classed as a warehouse, but you know, entirely up to you. Different sections in there. Obviously the doors open up, no problem. You could store loads of stuff in there. I like that. I mean, the roller shutter doors. There, Ace. I like them. Up and over. Fair enough. So we'll wait for that to go, and outside we go. And a little bit of a storage area in here as well. Open up that door. So once you're in, you know, some sections are going to be handballing it in on its own. And to be fair, there's not really a big door to be using anyway. So it's just going to be handball stuff into this bit. And then next door, you've got this one. Open up like that. It's a little bit more of a, I'll say, pickup car storage area. It's probably a better way of putting it. And then we've got this one, this big long one on the end. So we've got these doors on the edge like that. There we are. Massive drive-through. Plenty of storage space in there. You're not going to be short on areas to store your stuff. Oh, fair enough. So obviously, you know, Welker Farm, very popular map on 22. And I imagine if it does come back out, it's going to be popular again. And you've already got the shed pack to put on there. I'd imagine it's already going to have it on there anyway. But if you fancy making your own little Welker Farm area, yeah, use these. Next up is Fruit Greenhouse. This is by MTL Modding Team. 6.42 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it in a construction menu and under greenhouses. Now, this is a little bit different than a normal greenhouse. It's going to grow different things. And to be fair, yeah, you can grow some good stuff in here. So you've got your water and your herbicide input. You then got your seed and solid fertilizer input just there. And when we come into the greenhouse itself, we've got our production chain menu. So you can make grapes, green beans, olives, peas, and spinach. Oh, indeed. Now, obviously, the spinach and the peas, and particularly the green beans, you are going to need rather expensive equipment. And to be fair, the grapes and the olives, they're going to cost you a fortune just to get set up. But no, you just place the greenhouse down and you're away. I mean, it's only like 12 grand, 12 and a half grand. You get all that stuff on the go. I mean, obviously, once it's been produced, once it's grown inside, you take it out of here, out the spout, into a trailer, no problem. Oh, this has just made those crops loads easier. Right, next up is Multi-Fruit Farm Storage. This is by Anthrix, 2.88 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in a construction menu and under silos. Now, there's two different versions here. One is the normal version. We'll go with that anyway. So it's got a capacity of 2 million litres in the silo, and then 144 bales or pallets in the main part of the building. Or, for a little bit extra, you could go for the unrealistic one, or the ridiculous one is what they call it. 20 million litre capacity and 800 bales or pallets in there, which is what we've gone for today. Fair enough. Now, you do have the option of customization. So if you click the right stick in, you get the option to have solar panels, yes or no. So that's going to give you a little bit back for the rental of the building that you pay for each month. Or you can change the colour. And if you've got the unlimited colour mod on, it's going to do what you expect it to do. Change the colour of the building. Right, no problem. So in there is going to be your loading in point for your silo. We'll come around here. We've got hatch marking areas just there. And then once you open this door, you've got a loading in point just there. You then got your taking out point just there. But what's strange with this, right? You come out of this door. There we are. And we've also got some more hatch marking areas. So it looks like the pallets are going to come out both sides. Alright, fair enough. And then we'll go through this door here. And this is where you're going to be taking out of your loose crop at your silo. Now that being said, 20 million litres and 800 bales or pallets. Oh, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is Phytosanitary. This is by MA7 Studio, 18.26 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under containers. There's nothing to imagine about it. Phytosanitary. Alright, fair enough. It's basically a liquid storage tank. So you've got your taking out point just there. You've got your fillable point just there. So you can put herbicide, water, liquid fertilizer going in there, no problem. That's going to hold 10,000 litres. And in here you got a little bit of an office. You know, if you just fancy doing a little bit of work, mind you. Alright, fair enough. I will say this. It looks a little blurred. Alright, fair enough. I mean, you want somewhere to store your liquids. Yeah, this will sort it out. Next up is Placeable wall lights. This is by Abracadabra. 4.67 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, they're going to be under lights, let's face it. Now, I will say this. We've got a little selection on the go here. They can be a little bit fiddly. Yeah, we'll just say that. Now, if you click on one, you know, there's various different designs, no problem. I found the ones that I've got like a bit of a bracket on the go, easier to place. So obviously you get it close to your wall, and then as soon as you get close enough, it sort of starts rising up. You know, you get it to where you want it to be on the wall, no problem. You obviously are going to have to toggle free mode on, and then place it down like that. Jobs are good. Now, the only issue I've found with some of them is they poke through the other side. Now, according to the website, if we go back around here, there is another option. So obviously you've got different designs, you know, old school, you know, lamps from back in the day, floodlights, you know, LED floodlights, that sort of thing. Got all these sort of things on the go, no problem. So you pick the design that you want. But if you get down to the bottom, we have these helper blocks. That's what they call them, helper blocks. So you put them there like that. We'll just put it into place. It should raise up to where you need to be. So, oh no, too far, too far. It can be a little bit fiddly, so we'll raise it up like that. There you are, toggle free mode on. Right, jobs are good. And so we should now be able to place something onto there. So if we go for that one, onto the helper block, like that. Toggle free mode. There we are. And then we'll get close enough. Can we get rid of it? If we go and demolish, go into demolish mode. Click on that. Sell the helper block. Yes. Okay. I mean, the light's there. Did it come through the other side? Let's have a little look. Spin it around the corner. Yeah, it's still come through. Unless I'm missing something. I mean, there is a good chance I'm missing something. It does seem fiddly. Obviously, you know, give it a bit of time. You know, just get it placed right. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Next up is Big Decoration Package. This is by Diedeck96, 5.77 megabyte on the download. And as you can tell from all the stuff we've got out here, it's another decoration package. That's the second one in 2 days. And with this one, there's 41 different objects. I'm not going to go through them all. They are going to be found under decorations. So you pick whichever one you want. But there is some nice looking ones, I must admit. I mean, these train wheels or old school railroad cart wheels, they look ace. Nice little patio with, well, I don't even know what that umbrella's called, but I do like the look of them. Yeah, you've got some flowers here. You've got some leftover railway tracks. Yeah, alright, so you just pick something out of there. You know, just gives that little bit of extra around your farm. You know, old tyre or a log ready to be cut up. Oh, fair enough. Right, next up is Workshop with Shed. This is by Nailu, 17.43 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it, as you can imagine, under tools. So 39,800 to buy. And you're going to get yourself, I'd say, a little bit of an old school workshop. Something that you'd see like out in the sticks, that sort of thing. So we open up the doors like that. I mean, it's got a nice little aesthetic to the outside. It's sort of like a little bit dirty, a little bit run down. I mean, you've got the side piece on the go there, so you can store some stuff under there. Then once you get inside, obviously here's going to be your workshop area. So you've got your hatch marking area. Bring your vehicle, piece of equipment in there. Hit the spanner. Jobs are good in. Yeah, alright, fair enough. That looks alright indeed. And the last mod for this video, because let's face it, I need to go for a bit of a lie down, is going to be an American workshop. This is by ICAS, 11.57 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, it's going to be found under tools. So it's going to cost you 80 grand. And you do have the option to change the roof colour. So you've come into there, customise, so right stick in. And then if you've got the unlimited colour mod on, you can paint it whatever you like. So we've come over here like this. And we've got a nice front door just there like that. There we are. Oh, that opens nice into a big workshop area. Oh, I like it in here. That is all right indeed. So over here is going to be your workshop trigger. So click on that, fix up your vehicles. And I've got this little side door just here. There we are. And we've got these doors that open up as well. Fair enough. And you're thinking, oh, that might be a little bit small. Well, you've got a big door on the side. That's a massive door. That is awesome. I mean, I like that. I think I remember this from 22. And I thought that was great then. And it still is. I mean, there's like all the framework underneath. That's awesome.